Hi, Cancer. Oh, I'm hearing this song right up and out for you. I'm hearing to the end of the road, and I can't let go. And then, but it belong to me. I belong to you. Okay, so we get it, Cancer. I'm hearing it's destiny. I'm hearing it's done. I'm hearing finally. I'm hearing the end of the road. We've reached it. I'm hearing at least of that leg of the journey. I'm hearing, thank God. I'm hearing it's been a really long ride and we didn't want to have to close our eyes while we're driving the last part of it. I'm hearing that was not where we wanted to end up. I'm hearing specifically as well. And I'm not sure what that's alluding to, but when we move into this next step and stage, we realize that I'm hearing the landscape really does evolve. And, Dora the Explorer, sometimes she's literally just doing that. She is exploring. I'm hearing who she is, really, okay? Like, Dora is exploring herself. I'm hearing her life, I'm hearing as well, unfold before her eyes. And so we realize that, there is a certain, there is a certain, I'm hearing cycle, yes, to the, to even the context of what we feel we're experiencing, where it's like, when we're, let's say, experiencing something really challenging or difficult, we, can kind of really get consumed in that space until we zoom out and realize, wow, okay, there are definitely rungs on the ladder, and the one that I'm just standing on right here, right now, is not the only one, okay, and is not also the only one relevant to the path that gets me to where I want to go. It is a step, I do take it, but it's not the one that's going to determine also if the ladder stands or falls, okay? So I'm not sure what that's alluding to, always take it as you will, but for a number of you, it might have been related to testing, okay, and something might have really been like, ooh, I don't know where we're going with this, what's going here on? I'm hearing, what's going here on? Okay, so something perhaps, as you may have felt it, you're really zoomed in to that one kind of episode, okay, and it could have actually been something you were really like, even invested in, and it was really, I'm hearing a heart-to-heart kind of, I'm hearing magazine cover that you were like, I'm hearing falling head over heels for, okay, I'm not sure what that's alluding to, but something that you were like, I'm hearing, I am invested. I'm hearing I am involved completely within this space, and this is who I am. This is my I'm hearing this is my vision for the future, and be it also, I'm hearing it's a little bit of like an infatuation feeling is what I'm getting as well. Virgo, I'm hearing strongly Cancer, okay, but then I what I'm getting is that, let's say that space kind of developed over time in a way that made you feel like, okay, let's say things came up and it was somewhat challenging. It's like, wow, wait a second. Okay, I was standing like this close to the mirror and I was just falling in love. I'm hearing with myself. I'm hearing all over again. And then like when the image grew weary, I realized how far I'm hearing far in and how deeply I'm hearing in love I really fell. Okay, I'm not sure what that's alluding to, but something that just, even as you may have felt it, was out of balance, let's say, in the way of, and we've all got Cancer in our chart, not necessarily in a good or bad, positive, negative, neutral way, but in the way of saying that, things can move to a certain side of the spectrum. I'm hearing in the extreme sort of case of feeling like, whoa, I am so, I feel so connected. Oh, I'm hearing, holy shit, I feel like I'm numb. I'm hearing as well. I'm numb. So I don't know what that's alluding to for a number of you, but let's say even the sheer kind of perception of what you might have been experiencing, even on an emotional level, that you felt, I can't, like, I'm hearing I don't know what I'm dealing with. And sometimes again it's that sort of feeling that, let's backtrack. I'm hearing Scorpio, Libra, to, it's like you can, and if you think about even in and of itself, Scorpio in Libra, right? Libra's balance and Scorpio is extreme. Okay, it's like they are in, can oftentimes be said that, right, Virgo, Libra and Scorpio can kind of I'm hearing compete with one another in a certain way for how a certain end can be reached. To say it in the way of like Scorpio feels like it's all about the very core, the depth, that's what's real. And Libra is like, it's all about both sides. I'm hearing every coin has a face and a tail, right? Okay, it's like everything kind of is and isn't also relevant. And so there is this sort of, and that is sort of maybe the context of the conversation when it comes down to Cancer, what actually you see yourself committing to. And for some of you, you may have been in this period of like undulating between, again, that very Scorpio tide of like, I'm in it completely, and then it's beautiful, but then when it kind of becomes testy, I feel like I can't get out of it. I'm hearing that for a number of you. I also can't see outside of it. Now, to say in the way of, again, it's perception, right? There may have been the feeling of, I'm so involved that then I don't really have sight of the grander scope of my mission. And to say to the way of, what's the relevance of this part of the experience in my overarching sort of mission or my role or my journey, whatever it is, my experience. I'm hearing my project as well, my profession I'm hearing as well. And so to say it in the way of like, let's say even you had a hobby or something and you just got really into it, you're really excited about it, and it's like then it gets to the point where maybe it's like, I don't want to use crayons. I'm hearing like, but then I got this whole coloring set and I was like going to become a colorist. I'm hearing a colorist. I'm hearing color artist. And I had my palette and I had my Sub-Zero refrigerator stacked and packed with paint. And I realized that I don't really like the way that it smells in my house. And then now I have a problem because I completely threw away all of my other, Lego blocks. Okay, so I don't know, it's like something like that, even where let's say that you see yourself as like an artist, okay, like all of a sudden you have this like this mighty I am presence moment where you're like, this is it, this is me, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go for it, I'm hearing the rollerblades, roller skates, put them on, I'm ready. I'm hearing on my hands and my feet, okay, I'm not sure what that's alluding to, but like I want to get there and I want to get there fast. And the feeling is that you kind of felt head over heels literally for some kind of also maybe venture. Now the feeling is that when taking the deep dive in that space, there was maybe some kind of complicated side to it that wasn't really fully interviewed. I'm hearing also I'm not sure what that's alluding to, but some aspect of this also transition period that wasn't fully identified, okay, like just say in the way of I've made the decision, I'm going to move in this direction, I'm gonna pick up this new hobby, this new job, whatever it is. And at the time, like you were very clear on it, let's say, but then it kind of started to wobble. I'm hearing it started to hobble and wobble. I'm hearing like as a table that we otherwise felt like we had our assets on. Okay, I'm hearing sitting on, situated on. There is maybe perhaps some kind of I'm hearing Aries, Aquarius, some kind of miss also judgment. I'm hearing placement of certain even visions that you may have had. I'm not sure what that is alluding to. No judgment at all, dear Cancer. But what I'm getting is that maybe there was some kind of aspect or evidence. This could have happened, let's say, even 4 months ago. I'm hearing in August. I'm hearing last August. I'm hearing October. It could have also been something that you were planning for that would have taken off in August that is no longer sort of relevant. Okay, so always take it as you will. But the feeling again that I'm getting, Cancer, is that, and I know this is going by somewhat quickly, if you feel guided to watch it in a slower motion or with captions on, then feel free to adjust the speed via the dial at the base of the reading. You can also add captions via the dial at the base of the reading. Now, okay, so the feeling is, yet again, that maybe, at the time you were like, and maybe you made this decision also during Mercury retrograde, okay, where things are not really as they seem, okay? It's like, well, this is perfect, okay. And, over time you realize, wow, for example, I thought I would love painting, and I invested in all of the most wonderful paint sets. I'm hearing all of the most wonderful paint sets that Leonardo da Vinci himself would have absolutely invested in had they been available as resources at the time. Okay, and maybe you even heavily researched this area and you're like, that's it, I want to do it. I'm hearing influencership, and then at a certain point, you start actually using the paint, you start painting, you start preparing all of your sticks. I'm hearing also for testing. I'm not sure what that's what I'm seeing, popsicle sticks, with writing on them. Maybe even okay. And I'm hearing trays, okay. And you're like, I'm hearing menus, okay. And you're like, and then you realize, I'm seeing someone kind of like in an apron, and they're like, they take out like all of their pottery, I'm hearing as well, and then they start to realize that they're not, I'm hearing starring, I'm hearing in the show. I don't know what that is alluding to necessarily. Aries, I'm hearing strongly. It could be related to Aries in your chart, but no, I'm hearing I don't want to have to like lean on. I'm hearing also someone, I'm hearing for this position, I'm hearing talent shown. So there could be some question of, how is it that really I'm going to present or project my work? I'm hearing that specifically for a number of you, but I'm getting as well for a number of you that something quite didn't pan out the way you may have expected. But I'm seeing it almost, the analogy, I'm seeing it almost in the way of, someone who thinks that they love painting, and they may love painting, but then when they take the paint home and they're starting to paint, they realize there is a fundamental issue. Okay, I feel like I'm allergic to acrylic, like something like that. Okay, Cancer, and it's to the point where it's like, I don't really feel that this is going to make sense. I'm hearing into long term. I'm hearing that specifically for a number of you, but I'm getting that it has to do with the concept of also, I'm hearing the rags to riches. I'm not sure what that's alluding to. I'm hearing story. I'm hearing though as well, it has to do with, I'm hearing the yin and the yang. I'm hearing the split brain phenomenon. I'm hearing left and right, like something purely creative and something really, really kind of practical. Okay, so, and be those kind of perceptions. What is considered creative, right? And what is considered practical? Can something practical also be creative? Can something creative kind of also be practical, right? It's all kind of subjective. Who's to say that something creative is not actually considered practical for someone else also, right? Everyone's got their own sort of interpretation, but at the end of the day, I'm hearing we don't want to dance, okay, the dance without shoes on. And that might actually be a financial factor where you're like, I'm not going to just be like tap dancing for 2 cents here. I'm hearing and there, and then that's the way I'm going to get my word out. I'm hearing as well. And so for a number of you, it's something that perhaps you feel like there needs to be more of an investment, even psychologically, of the space that will continue to maintain this creative venture. It's like, I need to make sure that it's gonna stand the test of time. I need to make sure it's gonna be something that makes financial sense over time. And otherwise it's like, I'm gonna be Leonardo with a pencil in hand without paint. I'm hearing it's just gonna be the sketch and that's it. So to make sure, let's say, that I'm going to be able to serve and service, I'm hearing also this nation, I'm hearing this army as well, I'm hearing clergy of clergymen, I need to be able to weave the basket and not with twigs. I'm hearing we don't want to be working with a twigged basket. I'm hearing that specifically for a number of you. I don't want to be only weaving. I'm hearing also with 2 fingers. I'm hearing this needs to be, I'm hearing I need to be all hands in. I'm hearing all hands on deck. And to do that, I need to have full range. I'm hearing not just creatively with my mind in terms of in a visionary way where I feel I'm totally able, to kind of accommodate all my visions, but and to take that creative reign with my work, but also to justify it in a financial way, to say, well, you know what, if I see that vision, I can actually implement it. I have the resources. I have also, for a number of you, it could be financial, it could also be human resources. I also have, let's say, certain, I have certain, let's say, even, I'm hearing friends in high places that could get me there. But then at the end of the day, there is still that side that is more of the predictable aspect of things, okay? Where it's like, I can kind of, get my way around. I can kind of, I'm hearing pitch the tent and make it stay together. I'm hearing stick together as well. I'm taping it up or whatever you're doing. But, that's not the priority. The priority is to ensure that it's going to stand not only as a possibility, but as something that will develop over time. And so for a number of you, I'm hearing you're really getting down to what is the promise that we make in this moment of committing ourselves to our passion. Where do we expect that to lead? And for a number of you, this is your vision. This is related to your vision. Okay, absolutely. And perhaps I'm hearing in the background, I'm hearing also in the past, there was a focus on kind of imagining or painting the portrait of, wow, this would be so wonderful, right? I'm hearing if this were to come about, but when you're now, let's say, thinking about, well, okay, it's all vision. I'm gonna just kind of, I'm gonna do it, and then it gets to the point where you're like, well, okay, I'm doing it, but I want to make sure that I can continue to do it. Okay, like it's that kind of thing, Cancer, that I'm getting, that you feel is like more a question of the evolution of this space, and that might be the question that you have. It might be also the question that another has. And I'm seeing it has to do with leadership. I'm seeing the color red really, really strongly, really strongly. I'm hearing the letter 2. The letter 2, that's B. Okay, now I'm hearing B, best friend. I'm hearing specifically. Now, for a number of you, this is a matter of how you feel that you're checking all your boxes. This has to do with your needs, Cancer. It has to do with what you are defining as your priority. And be it even if it is a collaborative space, there's the recognition that you are holding it, okay? And that you are also, I'm hearing, at the mercy of your own direction and lead, where it's like, it's up to me. Like, let's say if I'm an entrepreneur, right? And I'm creating a business, or I'm, starting something from the ground up. I'm hearing, even if it's in my kitchen, I need to make sure that I'm setting the boundaries with myself and telling myself, right, at certain points in time, this is a necessity, this is a need. I need to be able to stand up for my needs, even with myself, where I don't talk myself out of even, right, certain priorities, right? So for example, let's say that, let's say that you want to start up some sort of business, and you're like, well, I'm going to make the food, and then I'm going to just try to, kind of get the recipe perfect. I'm going to sell it at certain times. I can work, at these hours. And then it's like, I might be hungry at lunchtime, but I don't really, and that could be the logic, right? Well, I could do that. I could technically do that, or I would do that if, but then at the end of the day, I'm seeing, Cancer, that you're getting really clear on what the tally is of the score, not because it is going to make you sore at the end of the day. Okay, just in the way that working harder is not actually going to make you feel more like a president, I'm hearing, of your own club. It's going to actually make you feel that you need to run the race, I'm hearing, with a different team. I don't know what it's alluding to, but it's like, yeah, make sure that whatever you're involved in, right, is actually speaking on behalf of your talent. And when we really question, right, when we really bring that into focus, what is talent? What does talent really mean, right? When we bring it as the focus, rather, where we say it's about your talent, right? That becomes a question of, if this is the priority, right, of the venture, I'm hearing as well, how do we uphold it? And that becomes a question of sustainability, really, and one that deals with the long term. So for a number of you, this is actually a passion that I'm seeing it is becoming and taking center stage as one that you see unfolding over time, and one that is actually very much lucrative. I'm hearing specifically where you see a lot of potential in this, and it could be in the way of, at first I thought I was just kind of like telling scary stories, and then I realized I am actually really good at this. Oh my goodness. I'm hearing Halloween is going to definitely employ me next year around. I'm hearing this is my gig. This is my front and center. I'm hearing message. I'm hearing Powell. I'm hearing Colin Powell big time. This came through for Capricorn. All right. So the feeling is that, but again, it's like, well, I can't burn myself out. I'm hearing also, I can't run myself too thin, too dry as well. I need to acknowledge I'm hearing my capabilities, my talent as a resource. I'm hearing as an asset that I account for. Okay. And so it's kind of like, are you your own employer kind of feeling? Even if you are technically, right, self-employed, are you still ensuring that you are acting in ways that you would if you were, let's say, employed as well? Like, let's say that, you were working for a company and someone was employing you for the job that you're doing right now with yourself, even if it is kind of like a fun gig, okay? Like a sideline thing, okay? Like, just a hobby. And there was a certain level of work that was like, this is absolutely, exploited. Okay, I'm hearing, like, I don't know what those, always take it as you want, not necessarily in any particular way, not saying anything in particular, but to say, well, this could kind of be considered unfair. I'm hearing unfair, like, especially when it comes down to the labor rules. I'm hearing the labor, I'm hearing equality, I'm hearing as well laws and regulations, like, you can't work so and so hours, and I'm even imagining someone who's like an Uber driver and they've been just like driving like for I don't know how many hours, and it's like, this is absolutely insane. Like, you're technically not really even allowed, I think, to drive a certain amount of hours. And so I'm seeing it as almost like, again, it's like, if this is the space that I want to save for the project over time, I'm hearing as well, I need to ensure that, you know, I'm not going to run out. I'm hearing also resources. And yet again, it's like, if I were to look into this from the space of, you know, kind of like in an objective way, where I took myself out of the equation, I really looked at myself as, let's say, either the employer or the employee, what is it that kind of becomes very clear to me about it, where it's like, you know, that's not I'm hearing like a president would. I'm hearing or should do. I don't know what that is alluding to. I'm not, I always take it as you will, Cancer. I'm not saying anything in particular, but like, and this might be the energy that you might be feeling about another. Okay, but again, take it as you will. But there's some long history I'm hearing, and also series and cycles of events that one may feel is also really related to, say, to the way that, you know, the feeling might be, well, things are not going to just get off the ground. Okay, it's not going to be like I paint this portrait and then tomorrow I'm hearing the Princess of Wales. I'm hearing on M Street. I don't know what that is alluding to, but to say it like, you know, I realize that it's going to take. I'm hearing a little gunpowder. I'm hearing as well to get me there. I don't know what that's alluding to. I'm hearing cannon. I'm hearing like a cannonball. I don't think like a wrecking ball. I said cannonball. Okay, take it as you will. So again, it's like there's something perhaps. One second. Okay, I'm hearing, am I doing the right thing? Okay, so what I'm getting is that for a number of you, okay, I'm seeing like a paper, even like a cloth, and it's been like crumpled, okay? And it's got these creases in it, and I'm seeing you kind of like thinking, you know, do I iron this thing out? Okay, like, do I try to get, okay, the process of perfection here, kind of just right? Like, is it a matter of how I invest in the space? And if I do, what is the limit? Okay, as well. And how far is it that I go in that space, even if there is one, right? Like, do I just always hit the limit? Do I always, like, if I can work 12 hours, do I always work 12 hours, you know, kind of feeling? And so it's kind of like, you know, what does it mean truly actually to be and to feel creative, okay? And what does it actually lead me to realize and recognize of my abilities when I treat them as I'm hearing aptitudes and skills. Okay, interesting. So for a number of you, it's something that perhaps you feel like you actually want to build, like you actually perhaps want to even train on something. But again, I'm seeing like creases in paper, and I'm seeing you kind of like thinking, you know, I want to iron it all out. I want it to be kind of like perfect. But there's somewhat of I'm hearing a frazzled fascination with whatever this project is. To say it in the way of that, on one hand, you feel that there is, I'm hearing a certain direction very clearly that you see yourself moving in. To say it in the way that, in an objective way, you really have clarity of what is kind of building. But at the same time, there's maybe Cancer, I'm hearing Aries so strongly, a desire, as you might feel it, to need your way through the micro steps that make this process move forward. And for a number of you, that might be speaking to history, actually, of the past. It might be working based off of what has been. For a number of you, it might actually be prior. I'm hearing partnerships that you feel I'm hearing cranky. I'm hearing it was kind of a cranky. I'm hearing that connection. I don't know what that's about, but I'm seeing like something that's kind of even coiled up together, and you're wondering, do I kind of like, I don't know, like, do I undo the knots? I'm also seeing like knots on string. Like, what is it that I actually even do when I realize that the point is balance? Okay, and so I'm seeing here, for those of you, I wouldn't be surprised to know that a number of you actually have a lot of Scorpio in your chart, because the feeling that I'm getting is that there is this absoluteness, okay, this feeling of like, and it can be a phase, or what is a phase, but a certain period where you feel like I am all about the absolute here. I'm hearing I am all about the fantasy. I'm hearing it is completely, or it is not to be. And for a number of you, I'm seeing that you're actually, to say it in the way that you're setting a standard, okay, that you feel perhaps that it is also feeling so perfectly aligned, whatever this next step is that you see yourself moving into, whatever the stage that you see yourself moving into, whatever this vision is, that you can't imagine not completely investing in it. So the feeling that I'm getting is that is translating for you in a certain way as, okay, if I see myself completely investing in it in a passionate way, absolutely. Once I do it, I'm hearing I want to completely do it. Then what does that translate into when it comes down to really questioning what's the place of commitment that this project holds within the grander scope and scheme of my life, okay? To say it in the way of, if I'm going to completely commit myself to this experience at this stage of my life, what does that mean in terms of what that can kind of also lead down into the future? So again, I'm seeing it as almost like, I realize that domino A leads to domino Z. Okay, I'm hearing we don't need to be like Einstein. I'm hearing I'm hearing listen to his quotes. I'm hearing as well about that mathematical algorithm. I don't know what that's alluding to, but I'm hearing something that you feel even it may have to do with. I'm hearing metaphysics, okay? Like, I'm hearing the law of cause and effect. Like, there's always going to be, that sort of, you throw the ball up and it kind of falls, and there's going to be I'm hearing butterfly effect, perhaps, as you feel it. To say it in a way that there's always going to be, I'm hearing the vision and then the reaction. Okay, there's always going to be that impulse of like, I want to do it, I want to invest in it, and then the space of that's also as I feel it acting upon me in a certain way. Okay, so to say it in the way that I want to invest myself completely in this space, well, wonderful. Okay, well, it's going to be complete. I'm hearing commitment. Well, wonderful. That's also going to have a certain relationship back. I'm hearing backwards in reflection to me. And what is the nature of that reflection? Okay, I'm hearing it's a matter of give and take. And this could be actually you with another individual. It's like, if I'm going to commit to you, you're going to commit to me. If we're going to be doing this tango, is it going to be 2 or is it going to be 4? I'm hearing, is it going to be 5 or is it going to be 6? And if it is, what's the platform? I'm hearing that we're all going to be standing on at the end of the day. So, and I'm hearing also during it. So there's something perhaps that you feel, it's like, yeah, exactly. It's like, I want to completely, again, invest of myself in this experience. And what does that sort of mirror out as in a practical way of what's needed in order to carry that out into the future? Thank you so much for tuning in, Cancer, Love, and Lights. You enjoy this period. I thank you all so much for tuning in, and I thank you all so much for connecting. I thank you all so much for your dear support, energetically above and beyond all. Enjoy this period, Cancer. Love and light to you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.